Hey, it's Katie Fiola Jones here. We are trying something new here on the channel. I am a certified Christian financial counselor if you are new to the channel and you are just tuning in for the first time. I typically here on my channel do a lot of talking head videos where I'm sitting down nicely at my desk with a bunch of bullet points of what I want to talk about and teach you about and different topics on equipping you with excellent money management skills that are rooted in the gospel. Ultimately, so you can free your money up to pursue your unique calling without any financial hesitation. And that's something I am extremely passionate about. But I am here with my little baby. I've got this new camera. I'm trying to figure out exactly how it works because it follows my face, which is really cool. But also I'm like, if I try and tilt it down, it doesn't really do that exactly. Anyway, I am trying out something new because right now there's a lot of changes happening in our lives and things that I'm working on within my business for redeeming your finances, as well as this new project I am actually working on with my cousin, Chrissy Thompson. Pause, my baby dropped his potato. And because I am a busy mama, I'm also a foster mom. And we've got some life changes coming up. We're actually moving across the country here this summer to Michigan, which is really exciting. There's just a lot going on, and it's a lot harder for me to sit down and create nicely formatted, well-polished videos for you. And so Malachi and I are going to try and do more of this. I'm figuring out this camera. It's brand new. I really love it, but it's got its own little tricks. It's following my head, so anyway. Oh, Malachi thinks it's funny too. Yeah, don't you, buddy? Okay. So that being said, I still want to be creating a lot of content for you. I want to still be able to equip you with some things with your finances and stewardship and all the wonderful things. However, it's going to be harder to do that. And so today I just want to talk about some of the exciting stuff that is going on and how you can be a part of it. And just kind of a quick call to action for those who might be interested in some of the changes and some of the things that we got going on. So number one, yes, I said we are moving out of wonderful Colorado. It's a very sad thing. We're actually very sad to leave our community. We have family here too. We're sad to leave the sunshine. We're moving to Michigan, which is actually a dream of ours for many years. My family lives out there. I was born in Michigan myself. However, I was raised in Illinois. And so yeah, we're moving to a very rural town in Michigan. We're very excited about it. Just the change of pace. We both grew up in very suburban areas. I grew up outside of Chicago. Wes has actually always lived here in Colorado, outside of Denver. And so moving to this very super tiny town in Michigan is kind of scary for us, but we are being really obedient to God's call. The way that this job kind of came about is, there are literally no words for how crazy it was that we got this email out of the blue, and we just kind of kept following God's call to just be like, okay, we'll just keep taking the next step. And so it was just very obvious to us that this is the next place that God wanted us to land. And so we're very excited about this move. There's a lot of potential too for us. Just as a family, Denver tends to be very expensive. I've talked about that in plenty of my videos before, that housing here is expensive. Just the general cost of living for lots of different things. It's just more expensive. It's also busier. There's just a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of people here, and I'm kind of excited to move to a place where I hope things are kind of slower paced. Are you excited for that too, buddy? Yeah. Just like a slower pace of life, a smaller town with less people, less traffic. Man, I'm not going to miss the traffic here. Not at all. Neither is Malachi. He says, so yes, we're moving. I plan to document a little bit more about that and all the changes that we are experiencing and our move from a... You got anything else to say, buddy? Oh, yeah. I love you too. Malachi really wants to be a part of this video. We're going to try recording over here and seeing if Malachi decides that he wants to still be super chatty. So yes, we are very excited about our move and all that God really has in store for us as we embark on this new journey. Anytime I want to talk, he wants to talk too. This is how I never get anything done with my videos. So yes, we are really excited about this move and just all that God really has in store for us, and just excited for this new chapter. But we are definitely very, very sad about moving out of Colorado. Some of you also know that we have been foster parents for the past 2 years. We actually, at this very moment that I'm recording this, we do not have any foster children in our home, and nor will we probably have any more foster children before we move. Just a quick recap of that for those of you who have kind of followed a little bit along with our journey as foster parents. So we originally had 3 children in our home. One of them moved out to another foster home. So then we had 2 in our home, and then one of them ended up moving to their grandmother's home. So they do actually live in Michigan, which is kind of unique. And then we still had one wonderful, beautiful, sweet girl in our home. And she lived with us for about 2 years. And she actually moved this past weekend. And the move it did not go as expected. She was supposed to return back to her home, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Our team, so when you are in foster care, you have your own, like, your case kind of team, so the caseworker and the children's lawyer, and you, and sometimes there's other professionals involved, but the team had decided that it was best to move her to a new foster home since they knew that we were going to be moving out of state here in the next couple months anyway. So it just seemed like a good transition for her at that time, because we were already in the process. We had already had everything packed up for her, and so there's been a lot of heartache in our home due to that. And the great news is that we're still in contact with her and with that family, and that's a huge blessing. There's a lot of really great things where we can see that God's hand has obviously been a part of this, and that this is kind of what he may have had in mind this whole time. But there's been a lot of tears shed, especially when a kiddo that you love so much has been with you for so long, and they leave. And so our house has been much quieter without her and all of her wonderful, silly things. But that's another update for us. We do plan to become foster parents out in Michigan. You do have to go through a whole relicensing process because it is different per state. So we're going to look into that, but probably not for the first year or so that we are out there. But we definitely still feel called to be foster parents. So after we land out there in Michigan, we are going to just explore what it looks like to be foster parents out there and get that started at some point. So those are the first couple of updates. The other updates that I want to share with you are, one, if you don't already know, I, as a certified Christian financial counselor, have an online financial school for believers where I equip you with excellent money management skills that are rooted in the gospel. So inside the school, you build a financial plan for yourself that is all rooted in biblical principles. You go through the 5 pillars of biblical money management, which are give, live, save, owe, and grow. And by the end of it, you have a full-fledged plan for each of those areas of your finances. So you know how to bring the maximum glory to God through the way that you are managing, viewing, and using your finances. This online school is switched over to membership style. So you can actually get started inside of that for as low as $39 per month. I'd love to see you inside of it. With each membership, you get some one-on-one coaching as well as an invitation to all of our group coaching sessions, which we host 2 per month. So you get lots of accountability and encouragement in your process. So that way you know exactly how to implement the gospel-centered financial plan in your own life. So go check it out. I have a link for that in the description below. We would love for you to join. Now, the last update that I want to give you is something that I'm actually really excited about, and I have not mentioned, I don't think, like anywhere in any of my content yet. So this is the first time you're probably going to hear about it. My cousin Chrissy Thompson and I are actually coming out with a new podcast. Chrissy is a money coach, trained through Dave Ramsey's money coaching program, and I am a certified Christian financial counselor. We both have a passion for health and wellness and glorifying God with our bodies, our mind, our spirit, as well as obviously our finances. Chrissy is also a registered nurse, which is super cool. She's really knowledgeable on lots of things health related, especially when it comes to a lot of the specifics on medical stuff. She's just really well versed in that. But many of you may not know, and you may have picked it up in some of my other videos, that I am just really passionate about health and wellness in general. I've created lots of videos on Christian healthcare ministries, but I actually have a deep passion about learning how to steward our health before we get sick. Malachi is currently teething, so you don't necessarily have to ignore him, but he really is fine over there. He's just chewing on things hardcore. He's like giggling. Yeah, you okay, buddy? Yeah, I know. He's fine. So anyway, I am really passionate about learning all the things on how to be more preventative in nature when it comes to our health, how to do things more holistically without needing lots of medications and interventions. And so we are actually creating a podcast. We've been recording a podcast on talking about all things like health and wellness in a way that glorifies God, that is budget friendly, and is just really holistic in nature. If you are interested in any kind of these topics, I would love to invite you to join our email list to get notified about when this podcast launches. We are planning on bringing it to you in April, at the end of April. So if you're listening to this video and it's already May, go check it out. The podcast has hopefully launched, unless something crazy happens. This is why I'm really not able to sit down and make these videos all nice and organized anymore. Not sure, I really don't know what I'm doing with this. Again, I'm not really a vlogging style kind of person, but I think that that's just the way that this is heading, because little Mr. Buddy over here doesn't make it easy to do anything else. So, which is a blessing. And I would rather it be this way than have all the time in the world and him not be here. So I love you, buddy, so much. Our podcast is affectionately called Crunchy Stewardship. No, I wouldn't classify us as majorly crunchy, but we both kind of resonated with that name because we both really like kind of the more holistic version of health and wellness, as well as both trying to prioritize things like making food from scratch and gardening and buying organic foods for our family and kind of questioning some of the narrative of health and healthcare and stuff like that. So yeah, we're creating a podcast to talk about all of these topics in a way that glorifies God. So if you want to join our community to talk about these topics, we do not claim to be experts in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I guess you could consider us experts in some areas, but not necessarily in this whole crunchy space. I think we are more just on this journey to explore how we can glorify God with our health, with our finances, with our bodies and within our families. And so if that is something that resonates with you, I would highly encourage you to join our newsletter to learn more about the podcast and when it launches, and join our community as well. So I will have a link to join the newsletter, so that way you can subscribe to that. And we're going to start a Facebook group called Crunchy Christian Mamas on a Budget. Yes, this is going to be a women-only Facebook group. So sorry, men, if this is something that you are interested in learning more about. You can definitely join our newsletter and listen to our podcast, but the Facebook group will be for women only. So if you are a crunchy Christian mama who wants to do this all on a budget, come and join us over on Facebook. We really just want to kind of do this together and would love to get to know you and hear what questions you have and what you want to learn about in our podcast. So those are all of the updates. And let me know what you think about this format of recording, because I don't know how I feel about it, but I think this is just the way that things are going to go from here on out. So I think we're both just going to have to get used to this. Malachi said it well. Thanks, buddy. I love you too. All right. Well, I'll see you next time.